We live and yay! Jonathan has come back to join Nancy and I again. Aloha, everybody. Yes, aloha, Jonathan. And it is Monday again. Almost the end of this. I think this is the last Monday of August already. So Nancy and I are thrilled and so happy to have Mr. Jonathan Dailey joining us again and today for our Divine Feminine. And, he's bringing the Pele energy and has a lot of information for us. So thank you, Jonathan.
I think they may have gone a little overboard, but
no, you are going to be endeared to Angie's heart the minute she pops in and sees all that. She's going to be like, Jonathan.
So just to preface, okay. Every time I give a talk in college, the number one complaint I heard was, "Oh my God, information overload." So if I'm going too fast, giving too much, just let me know. Try and cut it down a little.
We'll reel
it back in.
Exactly. So first here to say hello was the lovely Empress Amanda, Tropical Empress and Spirit. She says, I have been waiting all week for this show. Me too. Nancy and I have been very excited to have Jonathan join us. And let's see who else has joined us. Flowing. Hello, Flowing. It's good to see you, my dear. How have you been? And Jackie Jacaranda is here. Hi, hello, Jackie. And everyone's saying hello. Diane G is here. Hello, Diane. And there's Ange. And
there's Ange.
Yep. I don't know if you were in chat when I said, but Jonathan pull up all of his papers, all of his printed information for today. And I said, oh, that would be right for aiming for Ange's heart. So
I guess I should show Ange. Yeah, I have some information.
Ange, take a look at this. Ange inspires greatness, right? Hello, Jessica. Hello.
Hello.
She goes, you summoned me. My Virgo heart sees my Virgo brother. Oh, really? You're both Virgos. Very cool. Rooted Willow readings this year. Hello, Willow, my dear.
Hello, Willow.
So, all righty. Today, with Jonathan being in Hawaii, I have been wanting to have him come on because Nancy and I try to make sure that when we discuss certain goddesses, that we have a better understanding of them properly, especially with the culture of what the people are allowed to know or what to learn. We're very careful with appropriation and Nancy and I really want to make sure that when we discuss a certain goddess or deity or spiritual being, that we are doing it from a place of utmost respect to that deity, to that energy, and to the people that they belong to. So when everyone knows that Nancy and I absolutely love Pele, and she's come up several times, we thought we would ask Jonathan if he would come and share, seeing that he's been living on, how long have you been living in Hawaii, Jonathan?
I had a little hiccup there. I didn't hear you introduce me. Hi. So I pulled out a bunch of goddess decks. Yeah, I have 5 goddess decks, and I just wanted to see which kind of Hawaiian goddesses are actually represented. Of course, the number one Hawaiian goddess represented was Pele. She's the most known, and in fact, let's take a moment to talk about what is Hawaiian and what is Polynesian, right? So Polynesia is these different cultures that are spread around the Pacific, right? We got Hawaii, we got New Zealand, we got everything in between, right? So the story of Pele starts in Tahiti, where she and her sister, who's the goddess of the ocean, got into a big fight, and Pele actually lost to her sister, so ran away. and used her magic stick to start like pulling up magma to like make some islands, and then the sister followed her in like the big fight. So Pele is specific to Hawaii. Like a lot of the gods in Hawaii are Polynesian, as in like they're found everywhere. They might have slightly different names. But Pele is the only one found specifically in Hawaii. She's the one who created the Hawaiian Islands.
Okay.
And if you actually look at the map, there's hundreds of islands. There's these main 8 ones that everyone talks about, right? But then there's all these like sandbars and atolls and smaller islands that are past that, where the ancient Hawaiians used to go to. So they knew that like the Hawaiian Islands was this huge chain. And Pele was the one who dug it up with her stick. And there's all these stories about her fighting with sisters and moving on from island to island to island. So now she's on the big island. She's on one of the Mountain Mauna Kea, and her sister, the goddess of snow, having a brain fart on her name. Anyway, the goddess of snow is on the other mountain on the big island. They're always fighting with each other.
Yeah, I didn't know it snowed in Hawaii. When I found out, I was like, what?
There's a snow goddess. His name I am missing somehow. So let me show you some of the pictures of Pele. So I'm not sure what kind of questions people have, but so let me show you. This is my first goddess deck. It's goddesses and sirens. The top got a little sun bleached. But the only Hawaiian goddess, of course, in here is Pele. And this is how they depict Pele in this deck. Right.
Looks like Amanda's long, beautiful black hair. Beautiful.
Be careful. Pele does not like others being compared. She's very.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Pele, apologies.
She does not like being compared to others or others being compared to her.
Okay. See, I just learned something.
Okay. I just realized that this one, I love this one. The artwork is beautiful, but there's no Hawaiian gods in it. Goddesses Among Us is another deck I like. I actually have all 3 of the decks and I like fusing them together, but again, only one. And here we have this actually almost looks like the Pele I met. Actually met Pele.
You did.
But her muumuu was black and the flowers were red. It looked very similar to her right there. Yeah.
You got to meet Pele. Beautiful.
I think, well, the other thing to mention about Hawaiian gods and goddesses, the Akua, is that they are not like these non-physical just ideas out there, like you're never going to see them in person kind of stuff. The Akua for the Hawaiians, they are living, breathing relatives that are here. Like I've had experiences meeting gods before in circle, but it's always like mental or like spiritual, right? Not physical. Mm-hmm. Meeting Pele was a physical experience. Like I sat and talked with her for a long time before I even realized who I was talking to.
Now,
actually, it didn't go until after the fact, truthfully. So the next goddess deck I wanted to show was Guidance of the Goddess Oracle, which is out of print, but there's a newer version. I think he changed out some of the goddesses and added some more, and it's the Femme Fatale Oracle, I want to say. I'm not 100% sure about that, but it's by Annette Hirso, art by Israel Gonzalez.
Jonathan, may I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
When you met Pele, and I know this is a very personal spiritual experience, so if the answer is I don't want to share, just let me know. But when you say you were sitting and speaking with her, was that in a way where she would enter, like her energy would enter into
No,
another person
like
that you met, or
we.
physically, like she,
So I
her own
was
body?
doing the road to Hana with my mom. When I told the story before, when I first started on YouTube, I kept saying my aunt because for some reason that was how I remembered it, but it was my mom that was with. And there's this one spot around the back behind Hana where there's like this little like parking area next to the road. Across the street, there's a waterfall. People swim in the pools, and a lot of times locals park in the parking lot with the back of the truck open and like selling stuff. Well, across the way, directly across the way from the parking lot, was this woman, very Hawaiian woman, dressed in a muumuu, black with the red flowers, had this very Hawaiian spread with a very Hawaiian umbrella, and she had all these shell leis she was selling. So I sat there for, I don't even know how long I was talking to her, probably like an hour and a half. And we're just having this exchange, interaction. My mom comes along, she buys a shell lei from her, we get in the car and start driving away. I look in the rearview mirror, she's not there. And my mom and I were talking about that a couple of years ago. We found the same spot. We crossed the street and realized that there's the rock wall that I was sitting on, but there's no ledge. It's just rock wall and then jungle. So there was no ledge for me to sit on with her. But I sat on this ledge with her and had a conversation about, oh, he doesn't want me to tell you that. Okay.
Yeah, well, no, that's what I'm saying. Whatever, you can, but I was just curious as if when you say speaking with her, if she like has a habit of maybe speaking through people to get messages to others. But
No, it was
it's
her.
not like she physical her. Okay.
That's
It
amazing.
was physically her.
Oh my
It
goodness.
was
And
like,
I've heard that before too.
she was
other
the most
stories.
Hawaiian woman I have ever seen. And I've seen, like, I live here, I see Hawaiians all the time. But she was like, I don't know how to describe it other than like
That's amazing.
the most Hawaiian person.
Were you
I've ever
close
seen. I don't
to
know
a
how else to describe
volcano?
it. It's just like.
Jonathan, were you close to a volcano? Like in the area?
So
where
no, where we were on the far side of Hana. It's the spot where you can actually see the Big Island from.
Okay.
So you could actually see Pele's Mountain from that area.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think she just popped over to have a conversation with me, truthfully, especially after what we talked about.
Okay.
So my last.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you.
Yes.
My last goddess deck is the Modern Goddess Oracle. That's by Ethany. She actually has two of the Hawaiian goddesses, where she's got Pele, but she also has Pele's older sister,
Namaka.
So that's like a very shortened version of it. Let me see if I can say this right. Namakoa Kahai. No, hi. Namakoa Kahai. So they ended up getting into a fight in Tahiti. Pele fled with a couple of her brothers and a sister that had not hatched yet. So her sister was literally still in an egg. And they made the long journey to where Hawaii is now. And the two brothers, one was the god are the Akua of sharks, and the other one was the Akua of
Of what?
humpbacks, whales.
Oh, humpbacks. Okay.
Oh.
Humpback whales.
And there's this whole series because, like I said, the older sister followed them, and then she and Pele continue to fight. That's why the ocean is so strong here, but at the same time, the rocks and the fire is so strong as well because they are constantly battling it out. Let's see, what do I? And then, so the creation of the Hawaiian Islands, Pele traveled from island to island, creating each one with her volcanic eruptions. This is a really great oracle you can get on
I get that.
the Zam of Asma, right? So they have a lot of amazing art in here for them. So here is Pele, right?
Oh, she's beautiful.
Mm.
And Pele is the lava goddess, and people still see to this day. You can still see her dancing in the flames, dancing in the smoke. Her silhouette is often shown. But here she is, using her stick to create the
Oh, I
different
gotta get that deck.
right? And build your foundations, right? Because so the story, there's many. I mean, there's so many stories. And she's got tons of sisters that she gets into fights with all the time.
Is Hina one of them, Jonathan?
So Hina is the goddess of the moon, and let me see what.
This is Hina in my deck. This is why.
So Hina is actually the mother of Maui, right?
Ooh, okay.
And so when Hina's moonlight was said to be diminished by Maui's mischief, Maui then caught the sun, and then that slowed down the sun to give us longer days, and that way his mother was able to do what she needed to do with the lunar cycles and everything. So yeah, so the extended length of the day for his mom. The egg that she was carrying was hatched into the goddess Hi'iaka, who is the goddess of hula, fertility, sacred forests. There's actually a series of sisters that are all hula goddesses. So there's Pele, Hi'iaka, Laka.
This is Laka. Well, in my deck, this is Laka. This is how she's represented.
So Laka, yeah, she is the goddess of hula, forests, and fertility.
She's beautiful.
According to myth, she's closely associated with the origins of hula dancing. It said that Laka gifted the art of hula to the Hawaiian people, and her presence is evoked during hula performances to ensure the dance remains sacred and spiritually potent. So during a performance, they usually call out to Laka, Hi'iaka, and Pele as the goddesses. Because if you think about it, most hula dancers, unless they're doing a solo show, it's always a group thing. And the other thing is, hula is not just a dance. It's sacred ritual. It's a sacred performance. It's a way of passing down the tales. The myths are all performed by hula. So hula is so much more important than just some like tourist practice. Right. So let me see. I'm trying to remember who each of these.
Diane G had a question for you, Jonathan, if you're able to answer. She goes, I'm sorry if I missed it, but what were Pele and Hamaka fighting about? I'm not sure if.
So they were fighting over a guy, I think, if I remember right.
Oh, of course.
Most of these fights are because they're fighting over some random mortal dude they both fell in love with, and they're both claiming that guy's mine. And in fact, you know what? Several of Pele's sisters weren't even goddesses; they were just mortal girls that turned into women who, like, through their legend, ended up either becoming some specific plant or animal or fish or bird that was very important to the Hawaiians. So a lot of the flora and fauna found here are direct descendants of these children of the gods that were mortal, but then end up, like, it's almost like in Greek mythology where, like, the children of the gods could become gods if they did enough to, like, get enough legend or whatever. It's that same kind of idea where, like, if they prove themselves through acts of bravery or love or relationship, like love relationship is like some of the main stories in one. So most of the fights are, like, there's this story about Hi'iaka is sent to go get what was his name? Hi'iaka. So she was sent on a quest to retrieve Lohi'au, a man Pele desired, and he was on Kauai. Right, so Hi'iaka had to get in her canoe and row to the ocean to the other island to get this guy. And she only had 40 days to do it, or else Pele was going to basically destroy the village where the mortal that Hi'iaka loved was. So during her journey, Hi'iaka faced numerous trials and adversaries. Like, she had to outsmart the shark. There was all these different things that she had to do. Like, I think there's like a whole book written about the journey. There's if you really want to get into it, there's, like, this is probably the best book in Hawaiian mythology of all time.
Hawaiian mythology.
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting. I had a dream this morning about a shark.
It's super thick. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so, and Hi'iaka herself, like, yeah, she's this goddess and she's got this main storyline, but
Hi, Karen.
Hi'iaka is one of, I mean, it depends on which version you're hearing. It could be anywhere from 12 to 40 sisters, all named Hi'iaka. I mean, the start of the name was Hi'iaka, and it's Hi'iaka, blah, 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 blah. And so it's different aspects, but they're all different sisters, so they're all different, but they're the same. It's, yeah. But let me just see what
makes me think of, like, a lot of other cultures, you know, like with some of the Native American cultures here, the Pleiades, the seven sisters. So a lot of them have like 7 or more sisters. You got,
well, and that's the other thing. Hawaiian mythology, like, all the gods, it's like this big ancestral tree. Basically, they're all related to each other. So, yep. And in Hawaiian culture, the gods, spirituality, all that's not in some, like, other place. It's here with us. So, like, the gods are not some nefarious idea. They're like these physical beings that are here, living, breathing. And after meeting Pele, I'm like, yeah, okay, all these gods are real and they are here. Mm-hmm. Like,
it's a powerful place.
I will do what I need to do to be in their good graces. So, another goddess here. This is Uli, the goddess of sorcery, magic, and mystery. Let's see. So she was actually who Hi'iaka prayed to ask to bring her love, Lohi'au, back to life. So Uli translates to dark color, the act of control, or an omen. And she is the Hawaiian mother of creation. One of them. There's multiple goddesses that are attributed with the mother goddess of all. Right? Oh my God. I just saw what Jezebel wrote. Ugh. My heart just
woke up with a huge spider crawling over my mouth. To me, I'd be like, but if you know, as long as it wasn't a snake.
That
makes snakes more than I do anything else.
So here's the image this deck has for Hina.
For who?
Hina.
Ina. Oh yes,
That's beautiful.
I
And
know.
it's
Look at
Hina
that.
Ika Malama. So she's the goddess of reef, fish, reefs, the moon, and beauty.
Oh,
So there is this story about how she was trying to escape some loveless marriage, and then found a rainbow, tried to climb for the sun. The sun was too high, so she found a bigger ladder and climbed up the moon, where she remains today.
Oh,
hey Jonathan. I mean not Jonathan. Gerald. I'm sorry.
Hi, Gerald.
Gerald. Jonathan. Gerald. Jonathan. Jonathan.
Are there
Gerald.
spiders in the Hawaiian pantheon? You know what?
Yeah, because
I have not
Jezebel
come
just came
across.
in. Yeah, and I
I've
saw a
not come
spider in my
across
tub today,
Spiders.
which is unusual for us. So very interesting.
They have the Hawaiian snow goddess here. This is
Oh,
Holy Aho. So she resides on top of the volcano Mauna Kea, and Mauna Loa is where Pele lives.
I did
Her
not
melted
realize
snow
that her
revives the
snow.
streams and fields along the Haumakakoa coast of Hawaii. So, like, that snow is very important for the farming, the forests, and all that stuff. And she's actually the oldest of the four sisters.
So older than Pele.
And what is her name again?
So it's spelled Poliahu, and it's pronounced Poliahu.
Poliahu. Wow.
I love. Yeah, she comes to visit on Maui occasionally.
Yeah, same thing in Arizona. There was a northern Arizona where it snowed up in the mountains. People would think all desert and this and that, but then during elevations, you will get snow. So yeah, that's beautiful. She's beautiful. Well, they're all beautiful, actually. I'm in love with that deck, Jonathan.
Oh, thank you. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to represent. So this is probably Papa Hanumoku. She's the goddess of earth, creation, fertility. She's the earth mother, and Wakea is the sky father, right? According to legends, Papa and Wakea created the Hawaiian Islands through their union and their descendants. And then she gave birth to Haumea. Haumea is the goddess of fertility, childbirth, and the earth. And Haumea is the one that gave humans actual childbirth, because apparently before Haumea came along, humans just cut open the belly to get the baby out. And she created this herbal concoction for women to drink, and then let the baby just come out. And I think that herbal drink is still used today.
Yes, it is.
So she was actually the mother of Haumea is the mother of Pele, and according to the legend, Pele was her only child that was born in regular childbirth. All the rest were either came from some part of her body, like a thought, or like fell out of her hair.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when you said eggs earlier, it made me think of the cosmic egg, where they think the universe, the cosmos, was created from a divine cosmic egg. So I love the continuation of the egg.
Well, in this case, it was a gourd.
Okay, a gourd.
Yeah, a gourd hollowed out. And then the different parts became like the land, the sea, the sky, the moon, the sun.
That's beautiful.
Let's see. Any other goddesses? Do you have a picture of Waka?
Waka, no, I don't. I have.
Oh, yeah, I was trying to find pictures of these goddesses, but they're like There's just so many.
Jonathan, I don't know if she's part of the Hawaiian island cultures, but they said she was Polynesian. Is she a part of the islands? Is she
No,
venerated? Okay.
she looks more like she's it is part of Polynesia, but it's more Indian. It's
Okay.
Maybe Filipino.
Okay. What about these two ladies? Are they considered?
Those are Polynesian. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if that was a Hawaii or not.
You have to remember too that Hawaii has something like 40,000 gods, or Akua.
Wow.
So
like the Indian culture.
And I was trying to find pictures. That's why I was really happy to have this Whispers of Aloha deck, because it had a lot of the pictures I wanted. Because I wanted to talk about all these different goddesses, but there's only so many pictures you can find. Let's see, who else have I not talked about? So Waka, the one I was asking about. Waka is the goddess of daylight and the sun. She represents the light and warmth of the sun. And one legend tells of Waka's journey across the sky each day, providing light and energy to the sky. Her daily path from east to west illustrates the natural cycle of day and night, and her power is integral to the life-giving aspect of the sun. La'ai is the goddess of rainbows and healing. La'ai, goddess of rainbows and healing, is often associated with restoring balance and beauty to the world. Her rainbows often appear after Pele's volcanic eruptions, bringing a sense of calm and renewal. Her presence symbolizes hope and recovery, offering healing in the aftermath of natural upheavals. And you have to remember, Hawaii is also known as the land of rainbows. Right?
The land of what, hon?
Rainbows.
Rainbows. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All of the Hawaiian license plates have a rainbow on them.
Rainbow on it. Yep. Okay.
Okay. So one of the Hi'iakas, there's A'uo Hi'iaka, and she is the goddess of fertility, growth, and healing. She's known for her role in promoting fertility and growth. This was an aspect of Hi'iaka that came out during her travels. And during her travels, she learned how to nurture the land, cultivate crops, restore balance and vitality to the environment. And she really took on the mantle of maintaining the health of the land and the people. Because in Hawaiian thought, like, Aina is the name for the land. But Aina is also the name for the ancestors. So for them, there is no separation between people and the land. Like, we're all related. We're all brothers, right? That whole idea of family is so integral to every aspect of Hawaiian culture that, all elders are uncles and aunties. People who are your own age, or if they're a good friend, brother or sister, if they're just someone you met, or a cousin. Hey, cuz, how you doing, cuz? Right. So everyone is related, is the spiritual belief of the Hawaiian culture, including the fact that every Hawaiian's descended from some god family. They can all trace their roots back to a specific god that they've descended. So.
Is it, you would think, Jonathan, similar to some of the Native American clans, how people can follow their trace and their ancestry belonging to different clans? Would that kind of be similar, or you think something
well
different?
I mean, kind of parallel but not identical as how it's similar, but it's not exactly that. It's we have this thing, even the Native Americans have this divide between the material and the spiritual world, right? There's that side and then there's this side, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Hawaiian belief, there is no divide. It's all connected. There's no disconnect. There's no that's over
all
there.
Family.
With this over here, it's all connected. Right?
Okay, I love that. Actually, that's very beautiful.
That's why one of the holiest things that you can do is take care of the land. because you're taking care of your ancestors. You're taking care of yourself because
That's
you
profound.
will eventually become part of the land. So there's no disconnect again. Right? So that kind of disconnect is definitely a very Western mentality, having to put everything in its little box. Right?
I am very interested in Poliahu and Pele. I looked and I found this picture of the two of them. I think
Oh, wow.
that's kind of
Yeah.
neat. It's by Dietrich Varese is the artist.
Well, it's that whole battle is the reasoning behind why the Hawaiian Islands are always sinking into the ocean is because it's this constant battle of Pele bringing the land up and her sister trying to wash it back away.
Down.
Right.
That's fascinating to me.
Really, the four main gods are like the male gods. Of course, they're all married, but the four main gods are Kane. He's the god of creation, fresh water, life, and fertility. He's the what he's married to. But these four are the sons of Papa and Wakea. So Papa and Wakea are like Earth Mother, Sky Father. Right? And then these, there's so many gods. Like it's hard to juggle this all, really. Like I was trying to get prep for this, and I'm like, I don't even know where to go with all this because there's so much.
Yes.
Yes.
Fascinating.
So the four main gods are Kane, he's god of creation. There's Kanaloa, he's god of the oceans, darkness, and the underworld. So he's also god of death. Right? There's Ku, who's god of war, hunting, and fertility. Ku, actually, if you read this, there's a whole group of gods whose names start with Ku, just like Hiikea, Hiaka. So that's one of the things you have to remember is that, like, if you're hearing about a god, make sure it's the god you're thinking and you're hearing about, because there's multiple gods with that. But Ku was usually the one who was the warriors called on during battle. He also was the one who the farmers called on to make sure that the land was fertile. And then Lono was the other one that farmers called on to do agriculture, fertility, peace. So usually, if you see, there's four main tikis that you'll see, and those four are based in those four gods.
Diane G had another question for you.
Okay.
Basically, we know she's jealous. She can be jealous with her sister, with the fighting over her sister. But it says here, what is Pele's character or personality like? She seems like an angry, feisty goddess, but it also seems she has a very caring and protective side to her, like all of many of us.
She's a complex goddess. But she's a mother goddess, but at the same, because she's creating Earth all the time, creating Earth with the magma that she creates. But at the same time, like, you don't want to get her mad because she might accidentally turn you into a tree that she can't undo. Like, so that's one of the stories that I was going to tell you. The tale of the Ohia tree. So in ancient Hawaii, there was a young warrior named Ohia who was renowned for his strength and bravery. He was deeply in love with a beautiful goddess named Lehua. It's another one of the, it's like there's so many, they're all related. So if you hear a goddess, it's probably a sister, maybe an aunt, or one of her many mothers. Their love was strong and they were inseparable, spending days together in joy and harmony. However, the goddess Pele, the deity of fire and volcanoes, was also enamored with Ohia. Her passion for him was intense, and she desired him for herself. Despite Ohia's devotion to Lehua, Pele's feelings grew more intense. One day, Pele approached Ohia with her advances, but he firmly rejected her, remaining loyal to Lehua. Furious and heartbroken, Pele decided to take revenge. She was determined to separate the two lovers. In her wrath, she transformed Ohia into a grotesque, twisted tree. This tree was the first Ohia, a species of tree native to Hawaii. It was said that Pele's fiery lava turned Ohia into a tree with gnarled, rough bark. It was the dried lava on the outside. Right? Lehua, devastated by the loss of her beloved, mourned deeply. Her grief was so profound that she could not bear to be apart from Ohia, even in his transformed state. Her sorrow and love were so powerful that the gods took pity on her. They decided to reunite the lovers in a different form. As a result, Lehua was transformed into the bright and beautiful Lehua blossom, which adorns the Ohia tree. The vibrant red flowers of the Lehua were said to represent Lehua's eternal love for Ohia. The combination of the Ohia tree and the Lehua blossom symbolized their undying bond. To this day, the Ohia Lehua tree, with its distinctive bark and striking flowers, is a symbol of love and the intertwined destinies of the two lovers. It also represents the transformative power of Pele and the resilience of love through transformation and an adversary. This myth highlights the themes of love, transformation, and the powerful forces of nature that are central to Hawaiian cultural beliefs. And it's taboo for you to pick Lehua flowers.
It's taboo to pick what type of flower?
The Lehua.
The Lehua. Okay.
The Lehua is like this bright red flower that grows on the Ohia tree, right?
Okay.
So by picking the flower, you're separating the lovers again.
Oh.
So
Okay.
it's very taboo. You do not pick those flowers. You don't pick off a branch because you're ripping off Ohia's arm, basically. So, yeah.
So if you plan a trip to Hawaii, give Jonathan a holler. Make sure all the things to do and not to do when you're in Hawaii.
Right.
Heather, did you see Amanda had a question for Jonathan?
Let's see. How are you? Let's see. There's Alice. Let me go back up a little bit.
She had something on her desk that was created by a strange man in Hawaii.
I didn't see that on here.
And
I'm sorry, Amanda, sweetheart.
Can you pose that question again for Jonathan? Because I tried to take a screenshot of it and the chat was jumping so much I couldn't.
Same here. So yeah, Amanda, sweetheart, if you don't mind doing that, and Diane G.
Marie and Jonathan.
Yep.
Everyone
Allison's here.
Came in, and I didn't say
Michelle, Jonathan, the Boomer Mill. But Diane G. said, I see. I first heard of Pele from a channeler here on YouTube. One of the messages from Pele was that anger can also create beautiful things, and all emotions are important. I find her very interesting. Yes, that is very interesting.
Yes.
So a good way of illustrating how the Hawaiians feel about the divine, this picture right here just says it all. They're not separate. They're connected. Everything's connected.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You're not separate from the divine. The divine is part of you. The gods and goddesses are your brothers and sisters. Your aunts and uncles.
Oh, here I found it. It says, Jonathan, I have something Hawaiian made on my desk that came from some crazy, wild, sweet, and talented guy. Can't figure out who this crazy guy is. Do you know who it might be?
Well, islands. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of crazy people here, I gotta say. One thing, from living here, the people I see that come here, almost everyone who comes to Hawaii to live here, a lot of it is just temporary, and they're here to heal. The islands are very full of mana.
Thanks,
There's
Gerald.
lots of mana. Like the mana flows through the sky, through the ocean, through the land, and people come here and they feel that healing mana, and they stay because they feel like they need to be healed. They don't even realize it. I've heard so many times go like, "Yeah, I came here on vacation and then I just sent for my stuff and I never returned." And then like 6 months to a year later, they suddenly are gone.
I think we got it here.
Yes.
That's the crazy guy. She got her beautiful necklace.
She got her necklace.
I can't wait to see you, Amanda.
Okay.
For people who don't know, Jonathan makes beautiful wearable crystal grids. They can be ordered on his Etsy.
I didn't put one on. That's so weird. I was
Nancy,
so
are you wearing
his?
Oh yeah.
Here we go. There's one of them right there.
Nancy's wearing hers. I love that.
Yeah.
They're all unique. They're one of a
I
kind.
wear it a whole lot, Jonathan. I love it.
I hear that from a lot of people who have them. They wear them on a regular basis.
And I get so many comments.
They're not just necklaces. They're spiritual tools. I weave them, but then I also put them through a 3-part ritual. Do a sun bath that blasts any energy that still might be in the crystals out.
Yeah.
Then I hang them on the salt lamp for an earth bath to just like really get energized. And then I create a specific crystal skull grid to lay the necklace in during either full moon or new moon to activate and even energize it even more. And then I finally send it. Usually I send it with a couple crystals from the crystal skull.
And she says, Jonathan, thank you so much, heart. So she loves it. And thank you, Rain. This is Jonathan's Etsy shop.
Oh,
thank you very much, my dear.
Did you see what Audra's saying? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to start making organ generators when her thing's kind of wonderful. So
I was kind of thinking about trying my hand at making like Oregon pendants.
Ooh, something new to add to the shop.
Right.
There you go.
Because in that way I could also like
what else?
Get more of these guys and put actual tarot cards in the pendant. So whatever energy you want to embody.
There you go. Slide it in and out. Very nice.
And then that way, if you have like a specific like set of cards you want in your pendant, since I make everything to order, I like to make the pendants to order too.
And there again is Jonathan's shop. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rain.
Well,
oh, and if you use the word aloha,
so that I can see it, I can't wait to see it.
Use that word aloha for a 30% discount.
There you go. Aloha 30.
Aloha. Just aloha. Don't put aloha.
Oh, 30. Just aloha for 30. Sorry. Yeah. So were you done, Jonathan? Did we want to do readings or do you have more for us?
Well, I guess I can go through a few more of the Pele's legends I have here.
That would be wonderful.
So the legend of the cursed rock, this whole idea of like not taking lava, it started from a myth where Pele was disrespected by a man who stole a piece of her volcanic rock, not just like from anywhere, but like from the crater itself. And angered by this theft, she transformed into a rock that now sits at the edge of the crater. So there's this rock that sits on the edge of the crater. It looks like a guy just kind of like hunched over. I think it may have fallen in at this point because the crater went from like this big to that big. But that legend is why people are told don't ever steal a lava rock from Hawaii.
And Gerald says
I didn't know until I heard later the Brady Bunch, right? The other thing you're not supposed to take that's also considered part of Pele's domain is the coral that washes up on the shore.
Oh.
The coral, you can't take that.
You're not supposed to take that. Nope.
So you can only take what
Um,
they sell in the stores because they've been blessed or they've been told that they can sell that from.
Well, and they've hand collected them in the right proper way with like offerings.
Offerings and stuff. Then those are the ones that are in the stores. Okay.
Pele and the spirit of the volcanic crater. Pele is known for her passionate love affairs, one of which involved a spirit who resides in the volcanic craters. This spirit, who is sometimes seen as a beautiful young woman, engages in a tumultuous relationship with Pele. Their fiery romance often leads to volcanic activity, symbolizing the intense and unpredictable nature of both love and lava. Pele is known to be a shapeshifter. She's often disguised herself to test those that she encounters. In one tale, she took on the appearance of an old woman and was mistreated by a young man. When he later realized her true identity, he was punished, teaching a lesson about respect and the importance of recognizing the divine in all forms. Right? So that was the thing for me is like when I saw her, I treated her like it was just a respectful conversation. So I think that's why I just had a conversation with her, and there was no like hardcore lesson that she thought I needed. So let's see. I think some of these are already mentioned. Yeah, this is the Hiyaka and Logiao.
Let's see. Debbie said here, I worked with someone whose boyfriend secretly kept a rock. After their house was robbed, car broke down, and a few other disasters, the boyfriend confessed, returned rock, and had no more problems. There you go.
Every single day, the post office here receives packages with lava rocks. Every day.
Just leave Hawaii whole. Yes, be respectful.
Yeah.
Well, there's this saying. What is it? Take only pictures and leave only footprints.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
It's just, I mean,
yes,
as the
respect
Hawaiians
the
would say,
landfill.
respect the aina.
Yep.
Aina is such a powerful word because another thing that if you've ever been in Hawaii or lived here, you know about the kama aina discount. So aina is the earth, right? Kama aina means that you are literally born from here. So for all of us here, be like, can I have that kama aina discount? Is kind of disrespectful to Hawaiians, but even I say it because that's what you ask. You got kama aina discount. Because a lot of times, a lot of businesses do. Not always.
Jonathan,
if you offering to Pele for a lava rock, would it be okay to? She does not like her lava taken anywhere. Like it's where it is because she put it there. Don't mess with it.
and unless you meet her on the side of the road selling lei shells or shell lays, yeah.
I would just don't take the lava. Like it's even the Hawaiians who live here won't even pick up a piece of lava. Like don't touch the lava. Just leave it at that. Like you're there to see it. That's it. I don't think any offering would make it okay to take lava.
Okay.
You're basically taking a piece of Pele.
Understandable.
Really to like come up and go, hey, can I just pluck a couple of your hairs out? You don't need them.
Yeah.
Just don't take the lava. Don't just touch the lava.
Words to live by, right? Especially if it's hot.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
So let's see. In another story, Pele is said to have once been pursued by other gods who sought to control her destructive power. To escape capture, she fled to Hawaii, where she found refuge in the volcanic craters. So that's another reason why her sister was chasing her, was because this whole idea of him like wanting to control her, and Pele being uncontrollable and being free and wanting just like being able to make her magma. Like that's who she's supposed to be. That's what she's meant to do. Why are you getting in her way, right? So,
like that free spirit. And being a fire sign, I can get behind that too.
And then Pele is also associated with a traditional fire dance performed by her followers. According to legend, she would demonstrate her divine power through spectacular displays of fire and lava. These dances were not only a way to honor her, but also a means of showing respect for the elemental forces she controlled. The legend emphasized the awe and reverence Pele commands in Hawaii. So that's why you often see a fire dancer at the luau. And a lot of luau's here in Hawaii, they're not like traditional Hawaiian. They're like a mishmash of Polynesian cultures and sold as a Hawaiian luau. Like half the dancers are Tahitian. I pretty much covered most of my.
There was a.
I also didn't. I was trying to hold myself back because I didn't want to overwhelm anybody, because I know that I can sometimes be.
Well, we're here to learn about Pele and the goddess and the female Kua. So you're doing exactly that. And
so if you want to go deeper with the stories of Pele and the true encounters with Pele, specifically true encounters with Pele, I believe this is still on the As of Mon. But this is like a bunch of stories about people who have actually like interacted with her. It's unreal how many people have had like in-person interactions with her, and yet people still blow it off as like not real. It's like she was a living physical being. Like I literally touched her. Like
it's amazing.
And it's not like any interaction with a god I've ever had. Like, you know, I've been a pagan for many years. I've been doing like circle work for decades, and I've met many gods on the astral realm, whatever. Not like this. This is like
next level.
Next level. Like she is where she like. This is her land. Like.
Now, do you think what? Which one?
I've seen it.
I had put that up there, and then is that the one you wanted me to point to?
No. Yeah, that one exactly. Yeah, reading about the petrography of the Hawaiian Islands.
Okay.
So the Hawaiians are actually incredibly intelligent. They were the first seafarers in existence. They taught pretty much everyone how to sail the seas. And like they understand the night sky better than almost anybody. They're like
Easter Island.
It's
right?
kind of sad, truthfully, what happened to the Hawaiians, because they were a kingdom. They had embassies in like I think 30 different countries, and then the queen at the time was forced by gunpoint by the U.S. military to abdicate her throne. There was a de facto government, the Republic of Hawaii, that got put in place specifically to get Hawaii annexed by the U.S. And then it became, I guess they annexed it in 1900, and Hawaii has only been a state since 1959. So there's people alive today that remember when it was not part of the United States.
I can remember when it wasn't, and Alaska wasn't. And I was going to ask you about that, Jonathan, because I don't know. I just always felt that I don't know. I just had this feeling that they weren't happy about what happened.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I didn't know about the gunpoint and all that back, with the Queen, but what you had
It's
talked
the US
about after
government
that
for you.
horrific fire, about how people coming to the island had, really ruined a lot of it.
Oh, the
Yeah, and then they turned the royal palace into the seat of government for the republic, and forced the queen into house arrest for the rest of her life.
Oh my!
It's unfortunate.
The things we do.
So there's a lot of anger here.
Yes.
There's a lot of how do you go home kind of mentality. So, which I don't blame them at all. And the sad thing is,
you can't.
They have been pushed out so much. There's more Hawaiians on the mainland than there are in Hawaii.
And that's from the people with the money, like Oprah and the famous people buying all the land up and everything and forcing.
Hawaii is becoming the playground of the rich and famous.
Oh.
Yeah. And then you had that fire where a lot of people, the animals, died, and people who
not just that. Lahaina was the original capital of Hawaii, the Hawaiian Kingdom. Like, this is where Kamehameha ruled from. This Maui and Lahaina specifically was the capital of the Hawaiian Kingdom, and now it's gone. Not just gone, but all the treaties from hundreds of years ago, the feathered crowns and the feathered cloaks made from like birds that don't exist anymore.
Oh.
All of it up in smoke. Like,
now, do any of the locals think that it might have been Pele's anger of what was happening to her islands that might have,
They're saying that the fire was a blessing in a way, because Lahaina was once known as the Venice of the Pacific, and all of those waterways, that big lagoon, was all filled in to build houses. And because of the fire, the natural waterways are starting to reform. So a lot of people are fighting to have them protected and reestablished, and replaced, like actually made into what it used to be.
Maybe they'll learn and they'll do that. And Jezebel says, such a sad story, and now billionaires feel they can buy the land. It's just. And then Fatima said the U.S. wanted to have the Azores Islands, but Portugal said no. The U.S. has a base in one of our islands called Terceira in the Azores. Because Fatima, though she lives in Toronto, her and her sister, they're from Portugal. And so it's just the U.S. sticking their nose into everything. And the Azores in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. And Jonathan, I wanted to ask you, a lot of people feel that what's the remaining of the Hawaiian islands were actually the top of the mountains that belong to Lemuria. Is that something that the Hawaiian people hold themselves, or is that just
the Hawaiians I've talked to were like, yeah, I thought everyone knew that.
Okay, well, I wasn't sure if that was something that modern day New Agers put onto the islands, onto the people, or if that was something that was traditionally.
The other name for it was Mu, right?
Mu. Mm-hmm.
So,
it's
and
Mu,
that's what
right?
they know it as.
Mu.
It used to be called Mu. Their place, even
the
back.
motherland of Mu. Mm-hmm.
No, Mu. Mm-hmm.
So I had a past life there once before, and I want to go back to Hawaii so bad to it's on my bucket list.
Well, if you come to Maui, I'll be your tour guide.
Well, we'll see it since we hit that Powerball, right?
Right.
America.
And I'll take you to the labyrinth that's on a finger of land. So you're walking a labyrinth, and you're surrounded by ocean.
And Nancy, I had that dream this morning about the walk. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I told you backstage. Now, Debbie says, I thought that they passed a law where only true Hawaiians could buy land, and that was why the Japanese married into their families. I'm not sure what that's about.
So there's
I don't know if that's something you can
it's a
speak on
fee
or.
simple thing. So basically, when you buy a property, you get use of the land for 99 years. And then, but I mean, like, no one ever claims anything or anything. But it's like it's like when you buy a property, you're buying the property, but you're not
Me
buying the
too.
land it's on. And you're basically just given permission to live there.
Yes.
And Gerald says, I love me a good Lambert. I do too. And that sounds beautiful.
This one
to
is
be of the
probably one
water.
of the biggest I've ever walked.
Mm.
Wow. I've walked one, well, several in Sedona, and then a very small one here in New York. But yeah, there's nothing like a beautiful Lambert to get you in that mindset.
There's 3 labyrinths on Maui that I know of. There's the one in Papalua that's, like I said, like a finger of land, and someone built the labyrinth like right on the edge of the finger there. So, like as you're walking, you see the waves splash up on the other side of you.
Oh my goodness.
And then there's the Sacred Garden in Haiku. They have 2 labyrinths. There's a smaller one inside, and that's done. There's this big painting that's gorgeous. It's Jesus sitting like Buddha. It's like a Buddha Jesus. And then as you walk it and you get to the whole labyrinth is built with coral rocks. And when you get to the center, the walls of the labyrinth are built with coral rocks that spell love, 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 love.
And those coral rocks were taken with permission from.
Well, they say if you're not taking it off the islands, that's not as big of a deal. But if you're like taking it specifically to take with you back to the mainland, that's a big no. Like if you're taking it, just take back to your hotel room and then you'll leave it there, or like put it back outside when done. So.
I was told that by a Hawaiian that moved to Florida back in the 70s. Okay. So I'm just looking to see if there were any other questions for you or comments. And I think I've got them all. I'm sorry, Amanda, that I missed that other one. But
I really been talking for an hour. I feel like I barely scratched the surface.
well, there can always be a part 2 sometime.
Well, I think it's just
don't
been
forget,
absolutely
you can find some pretty amazing stories out there.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another one that's really good. Hawaiian myths of Earth, Sea, and Sky. And I don't know which of these are still in print and which are not. I know these 2 are probably not because I found them at the used bookstore. Maui Mischievous Hero and Tales of the Menehune.
Oh yeah, I've seen paranormal shows where people see those. But they are.
And then this one's really good. This one's pretty cool. And this one actually is edited by a Hawaiian, so you know that these stories are pretty accurate. So this one and this one I think are like the best bang for your buck. This one is probably out of print, is my guess. This is actually, let me see.
Now Karen wanted to know, what about Hawaiian mermaids? Now, do the Hawaiian people believe that, do they have akua or gods or goddesses that are what we consider mermaids that live within the waters?
Yeah,
men and women.
But, oh my God, you saw me sitting here shuffling the Aloha deck, right? Yeah. Well, I pick it up, try and find a card, and it's already here on the bottom.
Oh, there you go, Karen. So beautiful.
Yeah, just ask Betsy. Like, there's major mermaid energy here for sure. Like, there's no doubt about it.
I think that's how I learned about
this
the
shows you
Betsy.
This mermaid is half shark, so you got to be careful what kind of mermaids you actually call to yourself. So,
Nancy from this morning, shark, the water.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got to tell you the dream I had this morning.
Joyful dolphin. You want to see this again?
Yep, and there's Joyful.
Mm-hmm.
There. She loves her dolphins. So
this mermaid is half tiger shark. He's
Wow.
surrounded by tiger sharks.
It's such a gorgeous deck.
Maybe that's what you saw, Heather.
Well, I don't know.
That's the message.
It's very possibly living with significance.
Decision makes an impact.
Mm-hmm. So think
So,
carefully before
if no one has any
speaks.
more questions, yes, it's the Whispers of Aloha. That's pretty much the only one I have out right now. The only one that wants to be out. Right?
Audra wants to know, is the Aloha deck the one from the King Aloha channel with Joey?
No, this is it's a Blue Angel production.
Okay.
And it's by Angela Hartfield and artwork by, you see that, Christina De Hoff. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Go ahead. Let's see it. So people, there we go. That's better. Christina De Hoff.
Christina De Hoff is the artwork, and then it's
Beautiful.
Angela Hartfield's the creator.
Beautiful.
Angela lives here on Maui. So.
And not Jonathan, Gerald. What is it with you two? Gerald says, I do not own the Aloha deck. Well, purchase responsibly, but perhaps.
Gerald purchased responsibly, yes.
Audra, if someone gives you the stone and you don't know, the curse is on the person who picked it up in the first place. It's not on the stone. By sending it back, you're making amends, right? And so the curse is lifted.
Yep, and this is going to be a hashtag Jonathan made me do it. Okay, Amanda. Yes, I know your name is Gerald. Nice to meet you. I think it's the Jays. I don't know. Who knows? So now we all got to go spend money. No, remember,
No, we're just here to share. We're not here to force you to purchase anything.
Yeah.
No. That'll
Purchase
probably be something on my list for next
right?
year.
Jonathan
Hashtag
has that
responsibly, know
deck,
your
right?
limits.
Because he's right smack dab in the middle of Aloha.
Mhm.
Do you want me to, does anyone want an Aloha card?
Yes. Want to do some readings? We're at
Sure, I can do a
6:13.
few. I'm just going to pull from the Aloha deck for now.
Do we want to do a collective?
Sure.
Okay, we'll do a collective for everybody.
Oh, I guess it's an hour and 12. When do you guys have to be off?
Well, Nancy and I are usually, good, till about 6:37. So we don't know what your time frame is. Nancy, are you still good? What's your time frame?
I'm good.
Okay,
good.
so
I like
yes.
what Gerald just. Yeah.
Yes, all that good stuff.
Exactly. Thank you, Gerald, for reminding us all.
So, do we want to do a collective, or do we want to do some mini ones?
How about I do? I pull 3 for the collective.
Okay, we'll do collectives then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. Really quick,
Does
I don't know.
Say shiver on it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Oh.
You're welcome, Jonathan, not Gerald. Ha 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 ha. Gerald, don't make me pull a bluebird card.
Nah.
So
the first one I pulled was this red ginger, right, with the volcano exploding behind it. It's all about resilience. From challenge to wisdom, journey on, right? So this is telling you that during your journey, there's going to be challenges. When you embrace those challenges, you actually gain wisdom. And it's only through your challenges that you can gain wisdom, really. I mean, if life was easy, what kind of wisdom would you gain? I mean, think about how many times, like, a challenge has given you such an amazing piece of wisdom and ended up being a gift in disguise, right? We got the snow goddess. Her message is compassionate acceptance. Allow your inner beauty to be seen. right? We are all beautiful as we are. We don't need to stick to a specific ideal that we've been forced to swallow. When you actually think about like how many models have eating disorders, and like how many of these action heroes say that they had to like train for 3 months, not drink water for 2 weeks just to get that shot of them ripped, right? And they were barely able to keep on their feet during that scene because they were so dehydrated.
Ooh.
Right. So this ideal that we've been fed is not even something that's attainable. Right. So compassionate acceptance is accepting yourself as you are. You're beautiful. Your beauty is imperfect as it's meant to be. And of course, who do we end with? Here's Pele. Just to remind you that you can release into harmony. Forgive the past and free your future. Stop reliving the past. Stop thinking about it. Stop replaying those conversations that you had 3 years ago. Let go, right? And if you need to, imagine yourself standing on the edge of a volcano, throwing all those worries, throwing all those things that no longer serve into the lava, be consumed and turned into new earth, new land, new life. So,
You're all beautiful and perfectly imperfect.
and of course, I always have to look at the bottom of the deck, right?
Oh, I do that too.
Yep, that's what I did. Oh, there's that other one.
That's beautiful.
Partnership with the divine. A date with spiritual renew. When was the last time you were on a beach and just like so thankful to be alive, right? And seeing the divine in the lapping water and the sands you're on and the sky giving you the air that you breathe. When was the last time you were out in nature and truly embraced the divine that you can only find in nature? Or do you continue to stay in these little boxes that we're stuck in?
Mm-hmm. Think outside of the box. And
Exactly.
we had...
Just remember, there are no boxes.
Nope.
Yes.
And I just wanted to star a few things for you. Diane says those cards are spot on for her. Jonathan, heartfelt messages. I know I shared something with Amanda a little while ago, but this I want to make sure that you see this. Audra said or asked, Jonathan, since you do jewelry, I was going to make a necklace with a moldavite piece. What do you think would be a good pairing? Amethyst, tourmaline, lepidolite, selenite, or another?
One of the best things to pair with moldavite is actually Herkimer diamond.
Really?
The two of them together. You got to be careful though, because Herkimers are manifestors, and you got the moldavite connecting you to the cosmos. So it's like you're going to get plugged in and start manifesting if you put those two together. So you got to be careful. If you're just like, trying to connect to the spirits, whatever, I think amethyst would be good. Tourmaline's always good because it helps keep you grounded.
Balance and grounded, I was going to say.
Yeah, lepidolite again is there, really good to help with the third eye and the crown chakra. And selenite's another one that is good for grounding and just clearing the energy.
Cleansing.
So the problem with selenite is you cannot get that necklace wet.
She said she wants it for calming energy.
I would stick with amethyst, the tourmaline, and lepidolite then.
Yeah. Perfect. And
actually, sorry, they just mentioned the don't forget a little jasper is good for grounding, like a red jasper or like a mahogany jasper, or like a green moss agate would be a good grounding stone.
Yeah. Obsidian is good too for grounding, cleansing, and protection as well. So gorgeous reading. Beautiful message for all of us. I agree, Michelle. Amanda says, I meditate and imagine myself on a beach, or imagine I'm soaking up the water under the waterfall. Lovely. And so I'm going to be careful with the Moldavite and Herkimer combo when I say beam me up, Scotty. Yes. And Moldavite is an intense stone. Yes, because it's such a high vibration
It sure
stone. It depends on, and of course, again, we're all different. So
Right.
energetically, make sure that if you want to get and work with Moldavite, a little bit at a time so that you can get acclimated to it. Unless some people just hold
You
it and
see
go,
this
oh,
ring?
yep, that's beautiful. That's Moldavite.
That's Moldavite. And I've been wearing this ring for, I don't know if it's happening. I think it's been like 19 years I've been wearing it.
Wow. Yeah, the first time I saw them was when I worked at Crystal Magic in Arizona in 07. So they're very popular now, but you got to be careful because they're only found in one spot. And now the original deposits are being dried up. And so there are a lot of people, selling forgeries that they're just resin. So be sure that when you purchase them, that
Some of
you're
it's just
purchasing
glass.
so be very careful. Because the prices are astronomical for, a lot of good pieces. So, and Audra says, I wear them and malachite too. Malachite's a good calming stone, grounding stone, but be aware up to with malachite because malachite can be a toxic crystal stone as well. If it's tumbled and smooth, you're fine, but don't put it in water, especially if you're handling a raw piece. And you find that you have anything left on your hands from the stone itself, to make sure that you wash your hands as well. So, and I think we're all
asking about Hawaii mermaids. Another card just came out.
Another mermaid. There you
That's
go.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the
Beautiful.
mermaids heard you asking about them. They wanted to make sure that you knew that yes, they're here.
Of course they are.
And another quick question for you, Jonathan, from Amanda. You said you forgot to add instructions or something in the box.
Oh no, I was just gonna do like a quick video just to tell you what each stone was.
Okay.
But
all
it
right.
wasn't instructions or anything.
Well, now
but I hope you found the 3
parent.
crystals that were in there too, because they were part of the moon bath crystal grid. And the little bag they were in wasn't closing. So I just want to make sure you got 3 crystals as well as your necklace before you throw away the box.
All righty. Yeah. So I'm going to give you over to Nancy. Thank you for the beautiful cards, Jonathan, and the messages.
Oh, okay. Well, I pulled a card, but then I wasn't sure. I
pulled 3.
If we were doing it. The card that came out of the goddesses of the world was Laka. And what is so interesting about this is it says just dance. The Hawaiian goddess of hula in the forest invites you to celebrate the joy of dance and creativity. Invite the energy of movement and artistic expression into your life. Just as Laka embodies the essence of hula, let her guidance inspire you to embrace your passions and celebrate the beauty of your unique artistic voice. And I love that. I think it's a beautiful card, and she's a beautiful goddess. And that's a beautiful message for us in our creativity.
Yes, Laka is amazing.
Yes.
Beautiful. I feel every time I'm hiking in the woods here.
All right. So thank you, Nancy. I pulled 3 like Jonathan. So from my Human Spirit Oracle, which I'm still learning, I pulled Cry for the Moon. And that's, can be very moving. This is very moving. And I just want kind of people to take a look at that. And I love it in the middle. She's the balance. And this card is about coming right from there. And it says, but here, according to the book, it says, have you heard the moon can make you do crazy things? Yes and no. But it says here, have you ever wanted something so bad that you would plead or barter your soul? a need so strong that you would almost give up who you are? What have you allowed to have? What have you allowed to have that much power over you? And I want to add, who have you allowed to have that much power over you too? Because of outside influences, not just ourselves, but with the media, social media, people saying, buy this, have that. You're not good enough unless you attain to. So it's like breaking that mold, getting out of that, and just learning, not learning, but accepting, you know, who you are, and what you have at this time. So I think that's beautiful. And to kind of, because I think a lot of moon cards get a bad rap because of, the lunacy or people doing crazy things. But the moon is divine feminine. It's tapping into our intuition, our emotions, our psychic abilities. And I think it's a powerful ally, the moon, especially when you know how to use the energies properly with it. And then from my Wild Woman Oracle, I pulled out, and it goes great with the moon card, restore balance, getting
Mm.
grounded. And isn't that cute? Look at the little hedgehog on top of her head. This was a beautiful, actually, my human spirit deck was a beautiful gift from Ange this year. And my Wild Woman was a beautiful gift a couple weeks ago from Amanda, Tropical Empress. So I'm really just loving these cards. And this is one of those Nancy made me do it. Well, Nancy helped Amanda me do it. So it's a part of my collection. And so again, restoring balance, emphasis again on the third eye. And again, there's another moon, connecting with the moon and making sure. And this is really interesting, Jonathan, that was it Audra was asking what stones are good to balance with the Moldavite. And because that Moldavite is a high vibration stone along with the Herkimer. So when we work with these energies, it is important to make sure that we maintain and restore balance. And again, another moon behind her. This is Rest Deep, and the swans are about transformation as well. I love that the swans are in here. And so this is about making sure that at this time, Mercury retrograde, the moon, everything that's going on energetically in our cosmos, making sure that we know our baseline energy, how we're feeling, we hydrate properly, we eat properly, we get enough sleep, rest deep, restore balance, and yeah, just trust your intuition. A lot of what Jonathan was sharing with us today with his cards were being pulled, people asking. There was the mermaid card, or some of the Hawaiian goddesses, some of us connecting, saying, I have a store. It's all being brought together. It's all, and what is it? It's water, it's moon, it's, again, tapping into that divine feminine. So I can go on and on, so I'm going to stop myself there.
Well, that last part of yours reminded me of Puleahu, the snow goddess.
This one or the other one? This one?
No, they both do. They're both snowy, right?
Well,
and that return to balance, right? I pulled Puleahu, who's the snow goddess, and then I have Pele, the fire goddess. So it's snow and fire together.
And there's the balance.
Restoring the balance, right?
Perfect. Beautiful. I love it.
And Joyful Dolphin asked if there was any dolphin cards. There is one dolphin card in the deck.
Let me put you over there. There we go.
There
how pretty. Thank you for pulling that out for her.
Oh, of course. There's three. There's other than the mermaids, there's three animals. There's the dolphin, which is lighthearted kindness, connect to the joy of being. There's the humpback whales, right? I love seeing this in winter. Winter means this scene happens in front of me with the mama whale and the baby whale all the time. Like, I love winter because of this. And it is about navigating emotion. Be aware of the flow of your feelings. And then the final one is sea turtle. And it's a reminder that it's time to bath. Switch off tune out and re-energize. It's always a good
Yep,
idea
for
to give
sure.
yourself
Mhm.
that downtime.
Yep.
Right?
The deep rest. The rest deep. Yep. And then that beautiful card from Nancy, from Laka. I love that. The earthly dance. And I'm just looking sure to make sure when I was doing my reading, I didn't miss. Karen says, gorgeous. I love that. Thank you, Jonathan. Okay, that was up a little higher. Okay. The moon is my lady cycle card. Yes, that too. So
You know, Heather, I told Karen we were talking about that just the other day.
28 days, 20. It's amazing how we're all connected energetically. And men, from what I
You said
understand,
Laka
also
was what you pulled out? This is the Laka in this book.
Ah.
Oh,
yeah.
She's the front cover. Beautiful.
She's the gentle and kind sister of Pele.
Ah.
And at hula events, altars are created to honor Laka with plants and flowers. That's why so many hulas have like plants, flowers, and like living things as part of it.
Yeah, this card has her. She's dressed in looks like leaves.
Mm-hmm.
So that's so
Bye,
hula
Gerald.
is not like a grass skirt normally. It's a skirt made from tea leaves. Tea is like this. It's TI, not like TEA. And there's these long, broad leaves, and they usually tie them together and to make a skirt. And then it's like these leaves are pointed down, but it's like this fluffy skirt. It's pretty amazing looking.
Everyone's loving the cards, the messages, and I want to go back up a little. Oh, beautiful readings, Jonathan, Nancy, and Heather. Thank you so much for the collective readings, and you are welcome, my dear.
You're welcome.
And then there was
Gerald.
Yeah, Gerald just took off, and I made sure I went Gerald. But I think it was Flowing asking me about the decks. So the decks again, Flowing, that I'm using is the Human Spirit Oracle. Let me just do this here really. Whoop, there we go. Let me take this out. So this is
Where are you?
I'm right here by Jenna Della Gratalia. This is all on her own. She worked and did a lot of collector and reads decks. And the same artist, again, Jenna Della Gratalia, for the Wild Woman Rising, which is where these two cards came from. And it's by Angie Solins, who did the Witch Oracle.
I love Angie Solins.
And Jenna Della Gratalia. So, yes. Yep, I have a couple of
Angie Solins decks now.
Do you have the Witch Oracle?
Yeah, I backed the Kickstarter.
Oh, so Jonathan had it
version
before we saw it. All righty. Yeah, I love that deck. And that's, the backs are gorgeous. This is the artwork. Her husband did the art. Yeah.
So much that she does.
And she's got poetry in there. So it's a really beautiful.
And I love the books. I love the books she writes because it's not like these long exposés. They're just like this sweet but sweet paragraph that like kicks you in the butt. It's just like
And it's a beautiful book too. I mean, she's got that's not it. Where is it? I mean, it's a thick book, but it's all in color.
All of her books are nice and thick.
Oh yeah, her decks are beautiful. Right? And they come with the organza bags. It's just really nice presentation.
Yeah.
And I love that every deck comes with a little bag.
Yes, a little baggie. And this is one of my favorite. And look, there's a moon. And there's an owl. So but yeah.
Aloha, Garnet.
So the artwork that was her husband did the artwork, but he took images from a lot of like the pre-Raphaelite era, like William Blake and stuff, and then went ahead and added his touch and reimagined the images. So it's a beautiful deck. It really is. And so making sure, yes, hello, Garnet. And Joyful Journey says, not Joyful Dolphin. Sorry, Dolphin, we have a joyful journey, and now we have a joyful dolphin. So I've been thinking of doing a type of oracle type deck with quotes and images to go with them. Go for it. I'm sure it would be beautiful. And she goes, yep. So
I have a oceanographer that lives next door, and she and all her oceanographer scientist friends were dissecting a dolphin in her driveway one day when they came home.
Oh my God.
I didn't realize how huge dolphins really are.
I hope
They're
they
very
didn't like hunt the
large
dolphin
animals.
to do it.
Well, it had died mysteriously, and they were doing an autopsy to try and figure out
What happened.
what was wrong with it. You know, no, my neighbor is amazing. Like every day, she goes out to certain spots and she collects like plastic bits and like writes down. Like she's constantly going out and collecting ocean plastic and yeah, it's just she's amazing. She brings home like seabirds that need nursing, and she's like nursing them back to health. Yeah,
that's beautiful. And Nancy, Karen said the bird is even channeling dulcin sounds to me. Agador. Yeah, Agador is a very interesting character. He laughs. We all know that he can laugh. Ramon can attest to that.
He's very happy right now. He's playing
very
with
happy.
his toys.
Yep.
Aren't you, Agador?
Yes.
Agador is a sweet boy.
Yes,
he sure is. And in mornings when Nancy and I get together for a cup of coffee and we're doing a video chat, if I don't say hello to him right away, he starts like, and I'm like, okay, yes, good morning, pretty boy. I hear you. And then he chirps a little more. I talk back, and then he quiets down. I mean, I just absolutely love her. I love her bird. Yes, loving and sweet bird. So everybody, thank you for joining us today. Jonathan, thank you for joining Nancy and I. It's always a pleasure having you on.
Fun. And I learned
Mahalo
so much,
for having
Jonathan.
me.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And thank you, everybody. Now, Jonathan, do you have anything coming up this week that you would like to share on your channel?
So on Wednesday, I'm going to have Rochelle of Amethyst Ascension joining me on my channel. And we're going to have a little chat about past life work, like past life healing, past life work, past life stuff.
I just got to Amethyst, I think, jumped into a chat one night when Ramon and I were reading, and I found her channel. So I've been watching some of her newer videos. I like her a lot. She's very cool.
Rochelle's amazing. I love Rochelle.
Rochelle, yes.
Yeah.
And Nancy, what you got going on, girl? Anything you had this morning?
Yeah, I had this morning. I don't have anything right away. I mean, there are a couple of things in the works, but nothing concrete.
Alrighty, and Ange says, love this. Thank you all. You are so welcome. And for me, I'm going on sabbatical. So no Friday show. I'll be doing my Tuesday Tarot Talks with Spiritual Rain and Jackie's Crystal Moon tomorrow. And I'm taking some time off. So
good for you.
I need to.
Yes.
I need to.
Well, you have so much going on. You need to like cut something out just for a little while so you can focus on the stuff you got to deal with.
Most definitely. So unless I get invited to do like a pop-up or something, which I would be happy to do because it doesn't consist of me having to plan and schedule and do thumbnail.
Right. You just have to show up.
Yeah. All I have to do is show up. So thank you, my dear. And let's see, Garnet just said, just listen to Theosophical Society lecture on awareness. Very good.
Ooh,
and we're just talking about awareness. Yep, exactly. Aw, thanks, Ange. Yep, we'll be doing great, temperance and the devil, I think, tomorrow. Ooh. So, and Amanda is going to do another show tonight. Girl, you're on fire.
All right.
So tonight, yep, on Tropical Empress and Spirit. Be there or be square. So, everybody, thank you again, Jonathan.
You, Audra.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Audra.
Oh, and look who popped in really quick.
Hi, Jeffrey.
Oh, Jeffrey.
Oh,
I'm glad he's feeling better.
Oh, Jeffrey, you weren't feeling better? I'm so sorry.
He's under the weather right now.
Oh,
but
well,
I'm sure relaxing and just, vegging on YouTube would probably help him.
Yes. And John and Gerald taking good care of you.
Yes,
and yep.
I'm sure he is.
So, alrighty, everybody, have a good rest of your night, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Aloha.
Aloha.